and Sips, episode 26 with Frankie Drinks here. We've been on the air for 6 months, and I'm super honored to have all of you guys tuning in tonight for an incredible episode. You know, we saved it for 6 months in, and we have an amazing menu for you tonight. So let's throw up that menu. So, our cocktail, because this is the Drew Estate virtual happy hour, and we're featuring a Vauqueré, one of the most classic of all cocktails. Our sips tonight, Hennessy Vsop privilege, plus our guests. We got Nate Greene from Moet Hennessy, and we got the Henny Crew or the Henny Boys, whoever you want to refer to them as. We got DJ Eli, Mr. Will McPhaul, and Ryan Rayford. And we actually got like a couple guys hanging in the Zoom too, and that's Joey and Mr. Rob Amato, getting that Vegas flavor up in this BITC. Exactly. So I've got a giveaway tonight. We're switching up the prizes. So tonight we are giving away 5, and I'd say 5 of these beautiful Barn Smoker survival kits, and you get this beautiful backpack with some incredible challenge coins. You get the hats, you get the cutter, you get the lighter, you get the sticker, you get everything on this. So all you got to do, real simple, if you guys been tuning in, hashtag Ask Frankie Drinks. Make sure you got a question for me, you got a question for the Henny Boys, but more importantly, you got a question for Nate Greene about this beautiful spirit of Hennessy Cognac. So get those questions in, get them in early. Hashtag Ask Frankie Drinks. You can ask hashtag Will Drinks, DJ Eli Drinks, Ryan Drinks, and most importantly, Nate Drinks, and even Rob Drinks if you want to throw it down that way too. And Joey Drinks as well, because he's joining us too. So make sure you check in from your neighborhood. You know, I love seeing that after each episode, watching you guys tune in from all over. We got the 4 corners of the U.S. checking in. We got the Midwest checking in. We got like Norway checking in. We got Australia checking in. So guys, check in, give a shout out. Make sure you give a shout out to my boy Jack Hayer, who's the producer behind the show, and he's keeping it real. So let's make it happen tonight. And look, man, I'm ready to go into the Zoom lounge and just say hello to everybody. So let's go into that Zoom lounge, guys. Go ahead and unmute yourself. So DJ Eli, what's up, brother?
What is going on, Frankie Drinks? I see you, my brother. I appreciate the invite for being here. And what is everybody doing down the Facebook chats? I know you guys go wild each and every week. Much love. I see you guys.
All right. I got my man Ryan Rayford in the house. Finally, right? It's your time, bro. It's your time.
Fresh, it's our turn, baby. It's our turn, man. I'm so excited. I'm too excited.
Awesome, my man. You know, and always, there you go. Always happy to have you on. I've got my man, Will McPhaul, man. Man needs no introduction. What's up, Will?
Let's
Nothing
get
but
it, baby.
trouble.
That's what we're here for. I saw somebody say, take it to the head, Mr. Joe. This sip's for you.
All right. you got to sip
Nothing
for
but
everybody.
trouble, that guy.
Let's go.
Next up, I got my man Joey here. 26 weeks, homie. 6 months, solid. And we've been waiting for this episode
Non-stop,
forever.
baby.
Non-stop. Like JD
I'm headed
says.
to the liquor store as we speak, man.
Oh, I love it.
It's never gonna stop.
What's JD said? What's that JD term he uses? Sticks and sips forever.
It's gonna be forever.
All right, we got a man. Book it. Absolutely. We got our man Rob Amato with that hat. You know, checking in from Vegas as well. Rob, what's happening, brother? You got to unmute yourself.
Oh, there we go. You know, just want to make sure you don't hear the background noise during the show. What's happening, Frank? How's
What's
everybody
happening,
doing?
bro? Listen, man, I don't personally love the hat, but I know a lot of people viewing love the hat. What's
That
up
is
with the
great.
hat?
Come on, Frankie.
What's up with the hat, homie?
It's
Don't talk to me, bro. The Marlins beat the Cubs, bro. Don't worry about it.
no,
We're
I
gonna
actually
go
found
there.
it off Instagram.
All
My
right.
boy Mike Prisdale found it, and he turned me onto it, and I shared it with some of these guys. So you might see him around somewhere soon.
I love it. I love it. I think that's awesome, man. Thank you for joining us. And last but not least, I got my man Nate. What's happening, brother? How you doing?
Doing great, Frankie. Thanks for having me on. Real pleasure, brother.
Dude, I miss you. I know you're coming in from Vegas. And so, we're going on Vegas time for you guys. And I cannot be more appreciative of you joining Sticks and Sips, the Drew Estate Virtual Happy Hour with your amazing portfolio of spirits. But like all good happy hours, my brother, we need to start what's a happy hour without a drink, right? So let's roll that beautiful cocktail footage done by my man Dario Dina, that's out there from our global creative team. Let's roll that footage, man. Let's see what we're talking about. Vauquerès, one of the most classic cocktails. We got to start with that beautiful Hennessy Vsop. I threw in a little Rittenhouse rye for a component. We got the Antica Carpano vermouth, which is one of my favorites. A little Benedictine, as well, just a little bar spoon. And we got two different bitters going in with the Peychaud's and the Angostura. And all you need to do is stir that up with some ice. Make sure you get it nice and well incorporated, right? You're stirring everything so it's chilled and mixed, and you want to just pour that over a beautiful cube. And then you want to express a nice little lemon rind on there, little lemon peel, and you've got your Vauquerès. So hold up your cocktails or hold up your drink, and let's say a cheers for bringing us together, man. COVID's been super negative for so many people, but today we celebrate being together. And I say cheers to you, cheers to Nate, cheers to the Henny boys, cheers to Rob and Joey out there, and everyone watching. So salute. Or as they say in France, what do they say? Santé. So no, I had to get it right. So
They
with
say
that,
down the hatch.
so Nate, listen, Nate sent me this beautiful cocktail. So Nate, tell us the history about the Vauquerès, just a really brief history of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is one of the true classic cocktails that we're familiar with these days. We trace the lineage back to probably around 1937, and Vauquerès is basically French for old square. So you're describing what's happening in New Orleans. And the lineage goes back to Hotel Monteleone, which if anybody's ever been to New Orleans, if anyone's ever been to Tales of the Cocktail in July, they know that Monteleone is known for their Sazeracs, they're known for their Vauquerès and stuff. So that's where it originated from. It's just beautiful, all spirits type cocktail, just with so many cigars, because you get that it's from the Benedictine and from the sweet vermouth, and then having any sort of grape-based distillate just kind of lends itself better from a chemical standpoint, from a pH standpoint, to cigars than dealing with grain like whiskeys and stuff. So that's why I liked it.
Dude, one of my favorites, and definitely one of my favorites when we're at Tales of the Cocktails to hang out in Monteleone, and you got to order a Vauquerès, because that's where it's proper, that's where its history comes from. And then you can go off to all the other great drinks they make there. And I miss New Orleans greatly. I miss Tales of the Cocktail. And with that, that's my first one, Joey. My first with that. I'm going to take the honor of introducing you, Nate. You are the portfolio specialist for Moet Hennessy. You've got over a decade in the industry. You've competed in many, many cocktail competitions where you've been incredibly successful. You were nominated at Tales of the Cocktail from Brand Ambassador of the Year, and many kudos to that, because I know what you do is truly amazing with the portfolio you got. and we'll hit this. We'll hit a couple of other spots later. But welcome to Sticks and Stips, man. Glad to have you here.
Absolutely, glad to be here. Really stoked.
Well, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, really, how did you get started in the spirit industry?
That's a great question. So I've been an accountant before. I played poker professionally, and that's why I moved out to Vegas. And I did that for 5 years. And then just a lot of life happened. And I was going to move back to the Bay Area in California, where I'm from. And, I was like, you know what? When I was 21, I wanted to be a bartender. I'm like in my early mid 30s now. I'm like, I'm going to give it one shot. So I went to a bartending school, which I know nobody was going to hire anyone from a bartending school. But it just so happened it was Crescent here in town, and they were run by United States Bartenders Guild members. So they taught me a lot. I took that course 3 months. I entered a cocktail competition that was national, that was open up to pros and amateurs. I made it to Chicago in the final 6, and I ended up winning that competition without having spent a day in food and beverage ever in my entire life. So I was like, I think I might be able to do this. I took that money from that win and went to Tales of the Cocktail in 2010. Took every seminar I could possibly imagine. Came back home. Was fortunate enough to get hired at a cocktail bar that was opening downtown, and they hired me on the spot. And I opened it and I ran it, and kind of the rest is history after that. So that's how my career in food and beverage over the last decade has started.
That's a great story, man, and much honor to that, because I do believe that passion drives success. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter where how you got to food and beverage, but your passion is definitely evident. And we've known much about you. I've met you over the years. Going back to 2016, going to Vegas, and thanks to my boy Rob for introducing me to you, and having some great times, and some great times at D1, which is one of my favorite places to eat. So shout out to Christine, Mama out there. I hope you're tuning in because I love your spot. Great food, great cocktails, and great hanging out with you guys. So you work for Moet Hennessy. Tell us a little bit about Moet Hennessy. What is Moet Hennessy? I hear people, they hear LVMH, which is Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, but Moet Hennessy is the spirit, I guess the beverage line. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Absolutely. So I work for a company called Strategic Group that represents Moet Hennessy on the wine, spirits, and champagne side. And you combined basically LVMH, Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, is the largest luxury conglomerate in the entire world. So you have your fashion goods, your leather goods, and your perfume side. You're thinking of like Christian Dior and Louis Vuitton and Celine and Fendi and Hublot and Tag Heuer, iconic brands just like that. And then on our side, dealing with just the wines and champagnes, what Hennessy is, Chris, what you're talking about, Belvedere vodka, Hennessy Cognac, which we're focusing in on today, Ardbeg and Glenmorangie scotches, award-winning scotches, Volcan tequila, Woodinville bourbon and rye whiskey in the U.S. And then we've got 5 iconic champagne brands: Ruinart, Krug, Dom Perignon, Moet Chandon, and Veuve Clicquot. The top 2 selling champagnes in the entire world. And then on the wine side, we have iconic wines: Chateau Yquem, Sauterne wine. We've got Terrazas, we've got Numantia, we have Smoke Tree, we have Skyside, Newton, we have Cloudy Bay, Cape Mentel. So it's an amazing portfolio. It's an honor to represent them, because I should have gotten fired years ago, because I can be a little rough around the edges sometimes when I do my presentations and my education training. So
I don't believe that for 1 second, man. You're one of the most refined gentlemen that I've ever met in the industry. So please continue.
Yeah. So that's us, and that's who I represent. And I just love talking about, cognac in general. It was the spirit that I paid the least amount of attention to when I was bartending and running bar programs. And now it's become, because I've worked for them, yes, it's become my favorite. You know, yes, they pay the bills, but also it's just an amazing, iconic brand with a rich history, and the level of quality and care that goes in each one of these brands is unparalleled. So,
Well, listen, you know, the legend of Moet Hennessy continues to grow as you expand and add brands into your portfolio, because all you add is incredible quality. But I'm going to ask you a question for our viewers out there, right? And our viewers, make sure you get your questions in, you know, so I'm going to pimp this again. You got this beautiful survival pack that comes with the cutters, lighters, hats, for the barn smoker. And our barn smoker, our big barn smoker, is November 14th. So you better like circle that on your calendar, on your paper calendar, and make sure you get it down, because we're hosting our virtual barn smoker. And you know, during COVID, where we weren't able to go live, and Nate, we have these beautiful barn smokers that we hold all over the U.S. COVID has obviously had an impact on what we do, so we're going to do a virtual one, and hopefully everybody tunes in and checks it out. And hopefully next year we'll be able to get together with everybody, and hopefully you'll come out as well, and get to meet everybody and go to the farm and understand, you know, how we make cigars, and the role of individual farms have a role in what we do. But right now, I want to ask you, man, a very simplistic question. What is cognac?
Great question. So cognac is three things, actually. Cognac is a brandy one. It's also a town in France, and it's what we call, thirdly, an appellation. So an appellation is a region where there's strict rules and regulations in which a particular product can be produced. So appellation could be tequila, it's sherry wine, champagne, bourbon and rye whiskey is unique to the US. That has an appellation as well. So those are examples, and cognac is a great example of an appellation. And being a brandy, all brandy is not cognac, but all cognac is brandy. So that's an easy way to sort of remember when dealing with brandies. And cognac is just a blend of brandies, essentially. We call, in French, eau de vie, which is water of life. So it's wine, it's made from grapes, and then it's distilled, cooked to a high temperature, and then aged and blended together. And that's when you get cognac, because cognac is just a blended spirit, basically.
Fantastic. You know, because I think a lot of everybody wants to, like, what's different? You know, what is cognac really? You know, is cognac brandy? Is brandy cognac? And those questions come up. So get those questions in, because we got something really great. So now we're going to talk about the Hennessy VSOP privilege, which is the spirit that I featured with you on the Vocaray, and I've got a neat pour, probably not in the proper glass, but you know, we're going to enjoy it with everybody. So tell us a little bit about the VSOP.
Absolutely. So the VSOP privilege, there's three main sort of age, I wouldn't say statements, but groups that we grade cognac in. And it's VS, VSOP, and XO. So VS stands for very special. And the age of the blend, the youngest eau de vie in that blend, has to be a minimum of 2 years old. When you're dealing with VSOP, it stands for very superior old pale. And the story behind that is, back in the early 1800s, people were drinking what they called VOP, very old pale. The future King George IV of England thought himself to be a cognac connoisseur, and he wrote the Hennessy family and said, hey, I want something very superior old pale. Hennessy decided to trademark that, and lo and behold, 1817, they made a particular blend just for that gentleman, and trademarked the VSOP thing. So Hennessy created the original VSOP, which is now a category in cognac that everyone uses. So this blend is an age of 4 to 15 years. So every VSOP has to be aged a minimum of 4 years and aged in French oak only. So this particular one, we're talking about a blend of up to 60 eau de vie in here. So when you get to that 4 to 15 year age range, it's great. You're starting to get that young fruit and that oak spice from the French oak, but also the older eau de vie in the blend kind of mellows everything. And you get sort of the stewed fruit, you get the vanilla, you get a little bit of light tobacco. So it's just a great sipping cognac. It's a great cognac on rocks. It's a great cognac on a highball, and great cognac in classic cocktails.
Well, I'm going to ask our producer to throw up that beautiful slide that we got for the VSOP privilege. And you guys can get, take a good look. So when you're out at the liquor store, you're looking for that beautiful Moet Hennessy, brand. You got a Hennessy VSOP privilege. Make sure you get a bottle. And I think it's a wonderful expression to be used in cocktails. So, but to be sipped alone. And, cognac has this history with cigars, in that it was actually one of the first, right? Like spirits to say, this is a spirit you pair with cigars. And I know that you enjoy cigars on occasion. And, tell us why cognac, especially, Hennessy, pairs so well with cigars.
Absolutely. Great question. It's funny because Rob and our mutual friend, Mike Prisdall, we did a seminar on this for bartenders at Bartender 4 or 5 years ago on this. And I wanted to tackle like what the science was behind why we actually paired cigars with wine or champagne or coffee or certain spirits and stuff like that, and why they work better in certain situations than others. And it really comes down to what I alluded to at the beginning during the intro was everything's on the pH scale, acidity to whether it's alkaline or an acid, right? So for whatever reason, because it's a grape-based distillate, wines and champagnes and cognacs, brandies, piscos, and whatnot tend to lend themselves, because it's fruit-based, better as a pairing to cigars overall in general than it is to deal with like bourbon or single malt or blended scotches, Indian whiskey or Japanese whiskey, because tobacco can sometimes butt heads with grain spirits. So that's kind of how it started, really. But in reality, the idea of just being bougie and leading a luxurious lifestyle sort of emanated from, you have an after dinner cigar, you have an after dinner cognac, right? And combining the two was just sort of a natural thing, about 150, 200 years ago. So yeah, like we're the beneficiaries of people who have decided, hey, I want to one up the next dude to me and combine both.
Well, there we go. Listen, so I'm going to say this. Let's be bougie together.
Yeah.
And enjoy the experience. I'm having this beautiful Vauqueré, which I think is going to make, which is an amazing pairing with Hoya Antano CT. I know you got some over there, and we got our boys over here. But I'm gonna deviate, man. Because I do this. I do left turns, man, unexpected. So Nate, what you do is amazing out in Vegas. You represent an amazing portfolio, man. But I want to talk about your semi-pro basketball experience, man, because we're in the midst of the NBA finals here, and basketball's on everyone's mind, but tell us a little bit about that, man. How'd you get going with that?
I was skinny all through high school. I couldn't put on weight, even during weight training sessions in the summertime. So I was very lightly recruited. I had a good career. And I made like, you know, honorable mention all state, and I had some school records and stuff, but like, you know, Division III schools and junior colleges are all who was looking at me. And my parents are like, fuck that, that's not going to happen. Pardon my French. You're not going to go to.
This is the family show. Let it
My
fly.
Not for long.
Let it fly, man. We're all good.
So it's funny. I in '95 I was a freshman, and I went through all the tryouts at San Jose State University, and Coach Morrison was like, "You did a great job, but we only keep 3 walk-ons on every year, and they're always seniors." And I felt like I outplayed everybody, and so I was like, "Damn!" And that was the year. I don't know if you remember that far back, but San Jose State won the Big West tournament, even having a sub 500 record. Went through the Big West tournament, won, beat Fresno State, beat UNLV back then when they were still Big West, and then made it to the NCAA tournament. And who did they get in the first round? They got Kentucky, Antoine Walker, you know, Anderson, like Tony Delk, like all these dudes that made it to the NBA. And they led at halftime. And I was like, God damn it, I could have been part of that squad that made it. And then, of course, they lost by like 48 in the second half. But, you know, that was their claim to fame at the time. After that happened, I played a little bit of JC ball, and then played with a traveling team for like 8-9 years until I was like in my late 20s. And it was great. And I coached high school varsity basketball at the time, and worked and went to school, and it was a good life, but not very lucrative. So
no, it never is, man. And I will tell you that from my stint as being not only a teacher but a football coach as well. It never is lucrative, but it definitely teaches you so many lessons about people, about what you're capable of, about what will determines in your life. And I love to hear that, man. You know, and I know you still do, you know, so guys, if you follow Nate Greene on his Instagram, you'll see him working out every now and then. He's shooting some hoops. He's doing his thing. And always love to see that, brother. And now I'm going to ask you one more question on a personal level.
Sure.
How did you get into professional poker playing, bro?
That's funny. I was kind of fascinated by it. I came up when it started getting big in like 04. Party Poker and Full Tilt was just going live and stuff, and Poker Stars. And I was working as an accountant for a elementary school district while I was going to school. And then I got a job at San Jose State while I was trying to take classes and play ball and coach basketball. And I was like, I need to make more money than this. And I put $50 in my Party Poker account one night in like 04. And I turned it into 300 in like an hour. I turned it into 1,000 by the end of the night. I turned it into like 10 grand by the end of the week. So I was like, there might be something here. And I got encouraged to play, and then I quit the job at San Jose State, and then decided, you know what, cost of living's cheap out in Vegas, and poker's blowing up. I'm going to try and make a go of it. And we moved out here in 06 and got crapped on with when everything fell down with the housing crisis and stuff like that. And so kind of had to reinvent myself after that. But it was a good run for about 4 years. It was a pretty good run.
Well, listen, if you guys need some poker tips, that's the man to reach out to. I love Vegas, man. And I don't love Vegas for the gaming. I love Vegas for the hospitality crew. And in that, you know, it's meeting guys like you. It's meeting guys like Priz and Max and RJ and everybody else out there, you know, from Sparrow and Wolf, from Golden Tiki. Rob, you're gonna have to help me out with who I'm missing, but and obviously Nick Tully, bro. You know, you can't mention Vegas without Nick Tully, Mendoza, Herbs and Ryan Cleaver, and my personal favorite spot, because it's like right here, Frankie's, Tiki, it's like that dude stole it from me, man. I
Yeah.
gotta steal it back, and I love Frankie's Tiki Room, and I love telling people, go out to Vegas, get off the strip. There's so many great places out there where you're able to really get great Vegas hospitality, amazing cocktails, incredible food, and above all, get to meet guys like you. So so Nate, thank you for being on, man.
Thank you for
And
having me.
talking about the beauty of these things. Now I'm going to give you the last word on this, man. What's the last word that you've got on Hennessy or Moet or the entire portfolio, man? What is your mantra?
Wow. I mean, so when you look at LVMH as a whole, you think, damn, I can't afford that $4,000 watch. I can't afford that $8,000 suit. I don't know if I want to spend $500 on that perfume, but they all have a story, and they're all beautiful products. But on the more Hennessy side of that, you can still have luxurious experiences for way less money. You can have an amazing champagne for $50. You can have an amazing cognac with Vsop, at retail for 50, $60, like with a cigar, and treat yourself. So what I say from the wine, spirits, and champagne side, it's all about approachable luxury, and we're not too bougie enough to want to treat somebody else or treat ourselves to a really nice experience. There's something always within our reach from the luxury side. So that's what I would say my mantra is.
Well, dude, for that, I say cheers to you, Nate. Cheers to Mo and Hennessy, because that's the reality, right? We live in the cigar world, and we live on the daily luxuries that we're able to enjoy and share with others. So, santé to you.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us. Don't go anywhere, because this Sticks and Sips is about to go off the rails right now. And with that, I've got my man, he's territory manager in Texas, and he's been waiting so long to get on this show. I'm gonna let him introduce himself and say what he does for Drew Estate. I'm gonna introduce my man, Ryan Rayford. Rayford,
What's
my
up,
man.
baby? How you doing, Frankie?
I'm doing well, man. I could not be more overjoyed to have you on, because I have you on the post, right?
Yeah.
And we always hang. I see your Facebook interactions, and I appreciate the support to Sticks and Sips. So it's an honor to have you on as one of our guests, man. So welcome, man. So tell us what you do for Drew Estate.
So I'm the territory manager for North Texas, Oklahoma, North Louisiana, Mid Mississippi. They call me all the smoke. I want it all. If it gets released by us, I gotta smoke it. And I'm just living life, bro. Just trying to make it through this COVID 2020. And I'm gonna tell you something tonight, America. I've been on Frankie's ass to do Henny, to do Moet Hennessy for Sticks and Sips since the beginning, since its conception, since the very beginning. And I'm glad to find out that you guys, had to get the scheduling in order. I thought you was stalling me there for a second, man. I thought you was playing me to the side,
I would never play you to the side, brother.
Like I was like I wasn't major. I ain't minor, I'm major now. So I appreciate you, Nate, for showing up, man, and doing this, because Hennessy has had a very special place in my heart over the years for reasons I won't discuss on this broadcast, but but yeah, man, I'm
Dude,
happy.
If you're not going to discuss them on this broadcast, what broadcast are you going to discuss them on?
Okay, let's get into it. So
let's get into it, because this is the real deal. So,
Yeah,
this is Sticks and Sips, the Drew Estate virtual happy hour where we feature a stick and we feature a sip. And, I've been waiting on my boy Nate. And, here's what we got him, man, because he's got a full schedule and we finally got him. And what
So
a
I want to tell the world, man. Hennessy, as everyone knows, I'm a big music fan, big hip hop fan, and especially '90s hip hop. And there was a lot of imagery and a lot of lyrics that would name drop certain brands, be it Hennessy or Moet or Sean Don, and it spoke to us in a way of maybe attaining that luxury life, even just for a moment, even if it's just for a pour or for one bottle. So I've had many a nights with Hennessy and a headache the next day. Many
100%.
many nights. Hennessy, I don't know what your data says, but Hennessy has started the most fights to my knowledge in a club of ours.
Nate, do you have any numbers on that? I'll give you a moment to look it up.
Yeah.
But
I have a pie chart
Ryan,
somewhere.
you said something incredibly important. Part of who we are as Drew Estate is that affordable luxury for the moment, right? And we embrace that. And we embrace that with Hennessy as well. The ability to afford that luxury, if it's for one night, we'll take it.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, man, Henny is a forever brand, and a lot of cigar brands make cigars, make different brand lines, and they're trying to chase something that's gonna sell forever. Hennessy's not going anywhere. Your portfolio, there's a lot of stuff in there that I drink, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Same thing with us. Liga Privada, Undercrown, Deadwood, Hoyt, Nicaragua. It's not going anywhere. We've hit multiple home runs. So I think this is the perfect Sticks and Sips. This is why I was telling you this, man, like 6 months ago, but you didn't want to listen.
No, really, bro? That's what you threw at me? I didn't want to listen. No, man, I was waiting on my man Nate, because if there is any guy that represents the entirety of Moet Hennessy, it's my man Nate in Vegas, and he does such an amazing job, and he loves cigars as well. And this is a guy that wrote me an entire paragraph of why grain-based spirit pairs so well with cigars. And I was like, dude, I waited for the right time, and I'm glad that you waited with me, Ryan, to be on here.
It was tough, bro. I was patient. My patience was running thin. I gave up. I was like, it's never gonna happen, man. We might get who knows? You're the liquor guy, so you know all these brands. I was like, man, he getting brands, man. That's kind of, I ain't never heard of this stuff, but damn it, we need a Hennessy episode.
Absolutely.
I think Will McPhaul's losing his patience now.
No, you need
down
to relax. You need to give Ryan his time, bro.
Never.
You need to give Ryan his time, man. He's been waiting.
I know, but Will, you can see Will down in the corner of my screen. He's getting antsy.
I hear it. But Ryan, I'm gonna throw up a slide right now.
All right.
Of the Hoya, our Hoya CT, our Hoya Antano CT, man. Because when I was thinking about the Hennessy VSOP and thinking about how amazing that spirit is, what it smells like, the aroma on it, where I've got apricots, like pit fruits, a little bit of cinnamon in there, and you get that on the aroma, and then you get to the palate, you get the vanilla, you get that really beautiful oak, you get a little bit of clove, a little bit of honey. I'm like, what's that cigar? And I said, I think, man, this feels like an Antano CT, so So tell me about the Antano CT, man, because I know we all love that cigar.
Yeah, I just lit one up now, man. I'm gonna tell you. So Hoy de Nicaragua, the most Nicaraguan cigar on the planet. They've been in the game for a very long time. The Antano blend is one that people know as a Nicaraguan Puro, but last year we came out with the Antano CT. So it takes that Nicaraguan binder and filler, and it puts an Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper on it. So you're gonna get a medium full smoke. You're gonna get some creaminess off of the wrapper. It's the perfect contrast. You know, you're gonna get creaminess, you're gonna get a little spice, you're gonna get a little boldness. It changes up on you, and you know, last but not least, it was the #1 cigar on Half Wheel last year. If you know what I'm talking about, you know, it's #1 with a bullet. You know, so it was the best cigar according to Half Wheel, and I called it actually. You know, a lot of people don't want to give me my credit for my ideas, Frankie. But
So that wasn't me, bro. Just letting you know.
all right. But
I'll blame digital marketing, but that's all right.
we can blame them for everything, actually. Anyways, so last year at the trade show in Vegas, I remember going through all the new stuff that we were putting out, and I remember smoking the Antano Connecticut, the CT, and it blew my mind how good it was. This is a morning smoke. This is a afternoon smoke. This is an evening smoke. And I definitely think it pairs well with the VSOP Hennessy. So good call on that, sir.
Hey, man, listen, you know, we try to get every, you know, we have so many cigars, you know, we are blessed with the widest palette of cigars out there, including the Hoya line, that could provide us an experience. And for the VSOP and I'm lucky to have Nate that actually got some CTs with him, and I hope that he enjoys them. But he's probably gonna freaking like drink some fucking XO with that shit, you know, because that's how he rolls, you know. So you know, we're digging the VSOP, but he's dropping some XO. There it is, man. And, oh, look at that. You know, hey, yeah, just hold up that Lalique freaking glass freaking bottle. It's all good. It's all good, Nate. We love you, man. Look at that. You know,
we in the wrong tax bracket.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so
a different stratosphere. We right here, Frankie, and he's out of the screen.
Exactly. You know, but it's a beauty of having that Ecuadorian Connecticut shade over that Antano, which everybody feels, you know, is probably, you know, that Nicaraguan, you know, hard hitter. But I'm telling you, this CT is a beautiful, flavorful experience of Hoya, and it's a great pairing for the VSOP or even the VS. And I'm not gonna, you know, you don't have to like jump up, man. The VS will be great, and a Vocaray. And if you want to do a Vocaray with the VS, great choice too, man. Phenomenal. And if you're Will McPhaul, you're just taking shots of Dom, you know, right out the bottle. It's all good. So Ryan, man, I want to say thank you. But I'm gonna ask you a question, man. Where did your love for vinyl come from, man?
Long story short, man. Growing up with my dad had an office room, and he had all of his records. I would actually say 30% of what's behind me belonged to him, and I just took it over time. You know, I was like, you know, you're not really listening to these anymore. So I inherited a lot of these records, but just always being in that office with him, I was watching my cartoons or whatever, and on mute, and he was jamming out to something. Every time I was with him in his car, in his Cadillac, he had a tape playing. So music has been around me my entire life. So I love old music. You know, I was the guy in middle school that was singing Temptation songs when everybody else was listening to whatever was current. So I love old music. I love music in general. So I have a problem, as you can see.
Well, you know, listen, man, I love your posts on Instagram. I love the old records you throw down. you throw down such an eclectic mix of albums, and I thank you for that, because it makes people like, hey, maybe I need to throw down some of those.
Keep buying records, man. Buy records, bro. It's the best. It's still the best sound quality. Stop listening to stuff off your phone, man. You need to hear that warmth.
That warmth, absolutely. So, with that, man, I'm going to now bring in the moment you've all been waiting for.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
But first,
Darkness.
make sure you get your hashtag Ask Frankie drinks, Ask Ryan drinks, Ask Nate drinks, Rob drinks, Joey drinks, DJ Eli drinks, Will drinks, and even Jack drinks. Get your questions in. We got 5 survival packs from Barn Smoker. Get your questions in. We'll get them later. I don't care if this episode goes 2 hours. It don't fucking matter to me.
Strong, baby. It's Hennessy. You know what that is?
It's
Moey though. Moey. Don't forget Moey.
No, we're not. We're never gonna forget Moey. So with that, I want to welcome the entirety of the Henny boys, the Henny crew, DJ Eli, Will McPhaul, and Ryan as well, and the required, Rob Amato, who's part of the Henny crew, but it's because it's by law we need to include an Italian dude. So with that, DJ Eli, man, what the hell's that, man?
You see that right there? Look at that. That lights up for y'all out there in the internet world. Look at that.
Flex on them, Eli.
Look at that vibe.
Yes.
Come on now.
Boy.
If it doesn't got a light, then I go ahead and I get it dipped in gold right there. Look at that. Come on now. Let's go.
Let's go.
It's not a thing for us, man. We do this every day, man.
Yes, sir. What's
What
good,
club
Frankie?
did you steal that from?
So yeah. He stole that from some bar, man. I mean, you spent that fucking money on the bottle, and he stole it from the bar. So, but it's all good, because DJ Eli is the Drew Estate house DJ, man. And and I welcome you, and I welcome Will McPhaul, who's drinking some sort of rosé thing out of a flute. So he's being proper.
Come out.
He's got a chug. Pinkies up. Pinkies up. Come on.
All right.
I got a 3rd bottle soon, though. My shit, though. Woo.
Woo. You're still sitting, bro.
Bro, don't judge me. When I get up, if I fall, I get back up. That's the beauty of it.
All right. So it's all good. So I'm gonna check in with the Henny crew. I'm gonna start with DJ Eli out of Chicago. My man, thank you for being on. DJ Eli, man, listen, man, tell us what you do, and then talk about Henny.
So basically, for those of you guys that don't know me, you might be sleeping under a rock. I am the official Drew Estate DJ. You know what I'm saying? So all your good big events, whether it's your barn smokers, your trade shows, and your little one-offs around the states, I show up, I hold it down, I curate that vibe for y'all to just get down with it and have a good time with it. Make sure that we're all vibing good and smoking good. That's what I do for Drew Estate. I mean, I'm a hip hop head at heart, but I play it all, so I get down. So like, no matter where we're at, whether we're down in Louisiana, Kentucky, Florida, Pennsylvania, here in the Midwest, I'm gonna make sure that the vibe is just right while you guys are smoking. And when it comes to Hennessy, man, Hennessy to me is something that I compare to the Acid Blondie. Now you might be wondering, like, what the fuck does he mean, Hennessy and Acid Blondie? Now Hennessy was one of the first alcohols that I got into. Now granted, throughout the years, I started smoking and drinking a lot of different stuff, but Hennessy's always where my heart is at. I've always loved Hennessy. Kind of like what Ryan said, it was just kind of like when you listen to music, you always hear it get in reference to, you always hear things about it. And then, when you're out and about, everybody around your crew's drinking it and you get into it. And then eventually from there, your palate grows and you start experiencing other things and drinking other stuff. Like, even on this show, getting into sake and other kind of bourbons and whiskeys and ryes. But when I go back home, I always go back home to the Hennessy. And Hennessy's always been one of those drinks. It's always been smooth. Tonight, I'm actually doing a little double fisting. I'm doing a little bit Hennessy white, just drinking it straight because you don't want to compromise that. Just have it nice and neat. But then I'm also having my mixed Hennessy drink, which is actually called the KCT. Now, that's called the Kansas City Tea. And I learned that drink while I was on tour with by the artist of the name of Tech Nine, who down in Kansas City, they would go ahead and they'll do some iced tea with lemonade and some Hennessy with a dash of Sprite, and they called it the KCT. And that's what we drank when we was on tour with Paul Wall, and it's still one of my favorites to go to when I dip and I mix it. So I got the best of both worlds. I got something a little neat, something a little mixed, and like I said, just holding it down with you guys.
It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful, bro. I love what you're doing over there, Eli. Keep doing your thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, and I know we got Nate cheering in because Hennessy White, the reality is, Nate, can we get Hennessy White in the US?
No, so somebody arrest that guy. So that's some
there
illegal
we
shit
go.
right there.
There we go.
He left too.
Oh, you know, the thing with Hennessy White, I had a mule a lot of it back during my excursions with my wife when we was down in Jamaica, whether we was down in Cancun, and fight off all the heathens that would send me messages like, give me a bottle, give me a bottle. I'm like, man, I'm trying to secure my bottle. And this is actually the last bottle I have left from our Jamaica trip from 2 years ago. And I mean, it's so smooth and so good. And I mean, it's unexplainable. I'll tell you guys how this Hennessy White tastes. So if you guys are at a duty free, trust me, Eli approved, grab a bottle.
So I would say time to leave the U.S. and come back because you have a beautiful opportunity to go to duty free and pick up Hennessy White because I heard it from somebody like 7 million. That's what it is, and you're gonna love it, and it's amazingly smooth and beautiful. So next up, I got my man. Listen, this is the moment we've been waiting for.
Let him breathe.
For so long, 26 weeks. We've been waiting to give Will McPhaul his own platform. And Will, you got it, bro. This is you, bro. You got 3 minutes. I can encapsulate everything you're about. So,
hey, bro, with all you got. Time.
The
Moet Don.
No bullshit. He's got 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Got 3 minutes, sir.
Matter of fact, give me 20 seconds. I'm going to pop the third bottle. I'll be right back.
You ain't going nowhere. No, bro. You ain't going nowhere, man.
I ain't got to. You know why? I got backup.
Oh, you got stemware. All right.
Pinkies up.
I'll give you another 30 seconds. It's all good.
I'll take that 30 seconds because Joey gets a mezcal minute. I'm taking him away minute.
Wait a second. Wait a second. This is something completely new. Joey, how'd you feel about this, man?
Well, I can always have Jack throw up that slide that I have of Will from back in the day that he knows that I have. Hey, Jack, you want to throw up that slide I have?
Oh, this is gonna be great. What? Oh.
The next contestant.
Is this gonna happen?
Never tempt a wizard.
Listen, Jack has refused to put up anything because if it wasn't done in pre-production, so we're gonna leave it at this.
It's not HR approved.
Will, you're a guy that enjoys the beauty of bubbles and cigars, which I think is incredible. And we overlook a lot, and I've been trying to get people to try to get on that train of thought. And so tell us about bubbles and cigars, man.
Especially when it comes to the Moet Nectar Imperial. Yo, the peach and the vanilla off that paired with the CT. The CT is known for that little bit of spice. It's almost like a fall drink to have that spicy peach. I mean, it complements each other very well. Why wouldn't you do that?
Whatever the hell that shit people be drinking.
Yeah, no, the Nectar Imperial, bro, is the truth. But also,
Nate,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna ask you, Nate.
Yeah.
What's your feeling on bubbles and cigars, man?
I love it. Like I don't see enough of it. I remember going to one cigar bar here in town that when they first opened, they had a whole list of pairings on their menu. And one of them was one of our champagnes, Cru Grand Cuvée, with a Fino cigar. I can't remember the brand and the mark of it, but it was a friggin' delicious pairing. And like after that, that was the first time I had tried it, the pairing 5 years ago. And ever since then, I've been a fan. So I'm with Will. Like more people need to try that stuff.
Sure.
You might see me drink out the bottle. I'm having fun. But at the same time, I'm enjoying every bit of it. Don't get the game twisted.
Every drop. Every drop.
Every drip.
Well, and this is where I'll pipe in, Frankie drinks douchebag fucking, number one.
Low life.
What you wanted? No, it's not low life, man. It's douche. It's cocktail douche, right?
Cocktail douche.
So the idea of pairing bubbles with cigar is that when we try to introduce, I'm a big fan of highballs, and the highballs introduce the effervescence into the cocktail, right? And the bubbles actually help to clear your palate and refresh it. It's kind of like eating sushi and having that little bit of ginger, that pickled ginger to refresh your palate. And bubbles definitely help to refresh that palate. So if you're going with something that's deep and dark and rich, bubbles are an amazing way to refresh that palate. It cleans the oils off of your tongue and your mouth, and it gets it ready for the next experience.
Hey,
so I'm a big fan of bubbles. So
Frankie,
so
are you hitting on me?
Will,
are you hitting on me? Are you hitting on me?
No, bro.
Relax.
Why would I do that, man? My man's Nate gonna send me a fucking entire case of Dom.
Yo, Nate,
bro.
You sent him a case of Don? Yo.
Hey, I need Dom too, brother.
Hey, Rayford, let's give Nate the disclaimer. Jewish State sent us a mask, a knife, and a flashlight. We're prepared to rob. Don't do that to us.
We will pull up.
Not like this. Don't play with us.
So yeah, this is the Henny Crew at its best. So listen, Will, man, but let me ask you a question though.
Okay.
Why do you like the bubbles, man? What is it about it that you enjoy when you're smoking a cigar?
Because one of the things people will never think about, man. They always think it's always got to be a whiskey, a wine, or a mixed drink. Like you said, the bubble is always a cleanser, and people realize you need that palate to be refreshed to actually enjoy a cigar. Sitting here with this Moet, it's great for me because I'm a slow smoker. So like you said earlier before we got on air, you bought 4 drinks in to a bottle. Me, I don't pour a full glass. I pour about a quarter just so I can enjoy it with my cigar. It's a great pairing. It's a timing thing too as well. By the time you finish a bottle, it should be 2 hours by the time it's your cigar. So it's a great timer.
I love it. I think that's fantastic. And I love the way that bubbles interact with your palate, and a shout out to Nate because I'm having an actual Vsop highball, and that to me is like it cleanses the palate as I'm having a cigar, and fantastic, man. What you want to do is extend the enjoyment.
You gotta pop bottles, man.
Yo, I'm out. I'll be right back. I gotta pop a new one.
Yeah, go do that.
All right. So I'm gonna jump on with my boy Joey because he's finally made it to his spot. So if you know anything about Joey Drew, he's been on with us 26 weeks. Joey, happy 6th anniversary, bro. I love you to death. And is that an Imperial?
Uh-huh.
Oh man.
Oh dude.
Check him out.
Turn up.
Oh,
there we go. Let's go.
Listen to my demo. Hold on. Listen to my demo. Hold on.
20 seconds.
All right, he's gonna get this done. The last time I was hanging out with Nate and with Rob and Christine, and we were over at D1 and we had the ice, right?
Yeah.
Nate, dude, what was that, man? Because that was beautiful.
Yeah, you're talking about the Moet ice.
Yes.
It was created just a few years ago by Moet Chandon. They noticed that a lot of people in the south of France, when it gets really hot during summertime, were drinking their Chardonnays and were drinking their champagne over ice. And so they thought, well, okay, we know it's going to get watered down. We know it's going to lose effervescence. So let's create a champagne blend that will hold the effervescence while still being served over ice. So it's almost like drinking your own spritz when you throw like mint in there or some type of herb and some fruit and stuff like that. So I heard that pop. That was
There you go. There you go.
Beautiful.
It was beautiful. Absolutely. So good, man. And, listen, you guys out there in Vegas, shout out to Sparrow Wolf, shout out to Cleaver and Herbs and Rye and D1, because those are my favorite spots to go drink when I'm out there. And I can't wait to go back out there with you guys. And one of the first spots that I tried, the ice, and it was like, yo, this is money. So good, man. If I could light up a cigar, I would, but Christine would probably kill me if I did that inside the D1. But with that, Will, I love bubbles, man. Such a great pairing with cigars. And we'll explore that further, but it's so awesome to be talking about Hennessy and the entire portfolio that they
Frankie,
represent, because it's so good.
Frankie, moment of silence.
Pinkies up, everybody.
Up.
Pinkies up. So you gotta take your drink, pinkies up. I'm gonna take my sip. Ryan Rayford is taking his shot right out the bottle. Pinkies up.
Woo!
We keep it
And
real.
we got Joey, bro. Joey, you're finally at your spot. We got
made it to the liquor store, picked up some bottles, got a little Satol, because you got to have a little Satol.
Oh,
and picked up a little Tepestate.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Just because.
Very nice.
Just
there you go.
because. And
There you go.
yeah, and pairs really good with the CT as well.
My
Right.
man, dude. He took off when we started. He got home, and that's amazing. Listen, I'm gonna jump in with my boy Rob in Vegas, man. Rob, what's the temperature in Vegas, homie?
98. Cool,
Oh,
cool
it's-
98. It's a small breeze.
It's
Nice.
chilly.
That
It's
one half
nice
of
and
your face
chilly.
is nice and tan.
Oh shit! Hang on, man. I'm gonna have to jump on with my boy Nate. Nate, what you got, man?
I mean, Will was flexing, so I was like, do I need to pull out the gold Moet Magnum
Yo!
or what?
Really? That's how you doing it?
Yes, sir.
Just putting the flex on them.
I mean,
Oh, yo, I'll take that flex. Well played, sir. Well played.
That's beautiful, man. That is a beautiful bottle, man.
Need my address? My
I
address
expect-
is
Yeah, I expect a 6-pack over my house, man. It's all good.
no
Nate,
doubt.
I got you, man. I got you. So, we got Nate with the Hoya Antano CTs, and he's gonna work through them and try them with the different Hennessy's and stuff. And he's gonna be reporting back to us. But right now, it's that time, man. It's that time where we get our questions for the show. So
shit.
holy shit. Excuse my French, merda, which, like Sante merda, which is my French for holy shit. Chico Ray asked Frankie Drinks, why is the Hennessy White only sold outside of the USA? And I'm going to direct that question to my boy Nate on the call today. So Nate, why is Hennessy White? First, tell us what Hennessy White is, and tell us why it's only available outside the U.S.
Absolutely. Hennessy Pure White is, so Hennessy in general figures that people in different parts of the world have different palates. So Hennessy Pure White is only available in like the Caribbean, parts of South America, Mexico. So we can't get it here in the States. But we have Hennessy Black here in the States, and nobody else can get Hennessy Black. So it kind of works like that. There's give and take throughout all different types of blends that we sell in different parts of the world. Pure White itself is friggin' delicious, and it's kind of in between a VS and a VSOP in that it's around kind of like 2 to 10 years old in the blend, but it's aged in used French oak. So think of like a tea bag analogy. When you brew a cup of tea, initially you got those strong tea tannins, right? But if you keep brewing it over and over again using the same tea bag, no homo, like
Wow.
Nate,
Wow, Nate.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm waiting for it.
is that on brand?
Wow, dude.
My bad.
All that.
It's all
Yeah.
good.
Go
It's all
ahead.
good. Can we get back to fucking center point here? All right.
no
Keep
episode
going, Nate.
27. 27 is gonna be cut.
Well,
Keep going, Nate. Keep going.
there's less flavors and color coming from the barrel. So when we age the eau de vie in those older barrels, it's all about the eau de vie. So when you put a bottle of Hennessy Pure White up against a bottle of VS or VSOP, you notice VS or VSOP is darker than the Pure White, and that's the reason is that it's aged in old barrels. More about the blend of eau de vie, actually extracting all the flavors from the wood.
Well, Chico Ray, man, congrats, dude. You get your barn smoker survival. And I thank Nate for answering that question. And next, I got Joseph Sparacio. What is the difference between VSOP and XO cognac? So, Nate, it goes back to you, brother.
Sure. So VSOP, by law, by cognac law, has to be aged a minimum of 4 years in French oak. Hennessy XO, by law, has to be aged a minimum of 10 years in the blend. So with us, to make Hennessy XO, we have about 100 eau de vie, 100 brandies, individual brandies, to make up this blend, this flavor profile, and it's about 12 to 30 years old in this blend. So that's the difference between VSOP and XO.
Well, there you go. So,
It is.
congratulations. Next question, I've got Rev Java. Congratulations, you got yourself a Barn Smoker Survival Pack. What is the best glassware or vessel to drink Hennessy from?
Oh, he must have went to school with them words.
He did. He Googled that shit.
So another awesome
Educated.
question.
My man said a vessel. I was like,
He
oh,
cultured.
cultured. All right.
Hennessy does not condone the use of brandy snifters. So there's a whole story behind that like a Swiss glassmaker back in like the early 1800s or whatever couldn't sell this particular form of glassware, and he just peddled it to all the cognac and brandy producers in France. And some people started picking it up, and it was just a way to sort of make it unique as a service for those maisons, those houses, to serve their brandies or cognac in. But for us, we think that a rocks glass is just fine, or a tulip, like I'm drinking my Hennessy from now,
Beautiful.
because you see at the top it flares out. So when you put your nose to it, you're not getting that alcohol burn on your nostrils right away. You get the aromatics as it kind of disperses into the air before you put your nose in. Then you swirl it around, then you take a sip. Or the whole thing.
Fantastic. So, Rev Java, you've got your answer, man, from dude himself. You know, next question. Oh, Brian J. Cavigliano. Why is France the only country to produce Hennessy? So I
dope.
guess in the global question, he's asking, why does France produce cognac brandy, right?
Yeah. So it's an appellation. Cognac's an appellation, meaning like you can only make cognac in the Cognac region of France, which is located in the western part of France. So that's where they grow their grapes. You can only call that particular brandy Cognac in that region. And Hennessy just happens to be in that region using grapes from that region. So that's why Hennessy's made there in the Cognac region.
Phenomenal. I'm gonna jump to the next question, and this is going right back to you, Nate, because no one wants to hear my shit. Mike Artino is asking, is Hennessy a good cognac to try if you're new to cognac? So if you were taking somebody on a cognac journey, how would you go about it, Nate?
It's a great question too. I mean, man, this is an awesome program. Everybody's asking really good stuff. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like, and others would agree, cognac's probably the most, if not one of the most regulated spirits in the entire world, next to tequila, next to Scotch whiskey, probably. Those might be the top three. So you know that the quality of every cognac out there is going to be good, regardless of how small or large of a producer they are. So I don't know. I think every single cognac house makes an amazing cognac, if not multiple great cognacs. I think you could look at somebody like Martell, who uses grapes from a couple of the subregions where it's lighter in flavor overall, their cognacs. Remy Martin only uses grapes from 2 subregions within cognac, and their best one aged longer. And those are really beautiful, elegant, softer cognacs. Hennessy uses grapes from 4 of the main subregions in cognac. And so our cognac is known to be a little bit more, I don't know, for lack of a better word, more masculine. Ours are pretty powerful, or, you know, more bold, more fruity, more spicy than some of the other ones. So I think like Delamain and Remy Martin and Martell are a good way to start to get into cognac, and then work your way into like the Hennessy, the XOs and whatnot. Because with grapes, there's such a long gamut. You think of wine, all different types of flavors and mouthfeels. It's the same with cognac. So you can't go wrong with anybody.
That's awesome. It's awesome to hear. So I'm gonna ask the Zoom Lounge, man. I start with Rob. You got a question for Nate?
What's your favorite cocktail to make with Hennessy? Outside of the Vieux Carré.
I think you're baiting me into something that and I'm going to give you the answer that you're looking for. So I love Ramos gin fizzes, which is like lemon and lime juice, heavy cream, egg white, gin, soda, orange flower water, simple syrup. When I first started the job, I was kind of that douchebag that went around and said, hey, make me a Hennessy XO Ramos gin fizz. And Ramos gin fizzes are notorious for taking a while to make.
7 minutes, baby.
Like, you're an a-hole, but let me try this. And oh my God, this is friggin' delicious. So yes, Rob, Hennessy XO Ramos fizz is my favorite drink.
Fantastic.
They are phenomenal.
Man, y'all be drinking sophisticated, bro. We straight out the bottle with it, you know.
All right, I got you, Joey. You got a question for Nate?
Nope. I'm drinking Sotol.
All right, so
Love Sotol.
Stuff that Hennessy
That's
stuff
awesome.
is too sweet. That stuff's too sweet.
It's beautiful, man, my man.
I'm sure it is.
DJ Eli, I mean, you got your one-on-one with Nate. Hit it, bro.
Nate, as you see, and we talked a little earlier, I am a fan of the Hennessy White. So is there a chance that it'll be available in the States? If not, let me know if I can have that direct line with you to receive some.
I mean, brother, the next time I go to the Caribbean, I will make sure to grab you a bottle, because I'm going to grab bottles for myself too. No,
I
it won't
appreciate
be
you.
available in the States. However, Hennessy Black is here in the States is as close to the blend of pure white as anything that we have in the line.
That's really good to know, because I've drank Hennessy Black before, and I didn't pay attention to the difference, but that I could get easily. So appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Now that Frankie's gone, I can take over his show. Fuck Frankie. I'm still drinking in that Moey. Let's go.
Where the bottle at though? You still drink? You know, put that
Yo,
glass.
don't
Hey,
get the
put that
game.
glass away. You embarrassing us.
Don't you ever get the game twisted.
You embarrassing us, man. with
Yo,
that-
the bottle is in hand. Don't ever.
Right now, we all doing the bottle. Let's go.
All
That's
right.
the proper vessel.
That's it. Let's go, Nate.
Vessel. The proper vessel is the bottle. Stop doing
Let's
that.
go,
Proper
Nate.
vessel.
No
Hey,
This
argument
is
for
the
me.
proper vessel minute.
Will, look
To
at
the
my eyes.
bottle.
Look at my eyes, Will. I
What
know
up?
you. I know you. So stop that cute shit and drink out the bottle, man.
Yo, have you not been watching? You on delay? I've been drinking out the bottle the whole time.
You playing games. You trying to like that's not
Yo,
your
time out. Hold on. Let me correct you, sir.
All right.
These two are empty. It's like bad boy.
Can't
man.
stop,
Still
won't
drinking,
stop.
baby. Let's go.
I get it, bro. We'll put
So
that-
listen, whatever. I'm gonna go to Ryan now. Ryan, you've got your moment with Nate. What do you want to say about Hennessy, bro?
I have a short story and I have a question. So this was probably like 2015. Yeah, 2015. There was a group of guys out of New York that were doing these events called Henny Palooza. And they came to Houston. They would go to big cities, but they basically just had cases of Henny. It was just like you pay a ticket price and you can drink as much Henny as you wanted.
Yeah.
And I went, and I had a great time. I had a phenomenal time. But my question is Hennessy, Moet Hennessy, do they know the cultural effects of some of the brands that you guys carry? You know, they have it may not show up in the sales because you guys are selling directly to a liquor store or directly to a bar. You know, do they know that there's a kind of a subculture, if you will? Plug, Drew would say subculture.
There we go. We're all about subculture,
That appreciate
Ryan.
the products. And I just wonder if Moet Hennessy is aware of that.
Yeah, I mean, another great question. Yes, to be succinct, yes, they are completely aware. What's amazing about Moet Hennessy and LVMH in general is that they employ over 55, 60% women and other ethnicities other than Caucasian. And Hennessy and Moet Chandon in particular started, I can pull advertisements off my laptop in the 1910s, 1920s, where they were advertising to Asians, Latinos, and African Americans. So everyone thinks that this whole Hennessy and Pass Cavassier and all this kind of stuff happened with hip hop, and Hennessy's growth is synonymous with hip hop. Well, yeah, Hennessy does attribute that because they weren't as big a brand 20 years ago as they are now. It's exponential how much they've grown. But they've always invested in music and culture and art for forever since they've been around, in 1765. So yeah, they are meta aware of their impact on culture, and they reinvest in communities and they reinvest in all sorts of programming for all of us. And it's that's what makes it a privilege, Hennessy Vsop privilege, to
I see what you did
represent
there.
them.
I see that. I see what you
Right?
did there. That's very clever.
You guys have a commercial campaign with Nas
Hey, you saw that shit
a year ago or not so long ago.
2 years ago.
I see it, but I always thought like we really be out here, waving the flag. And I just want to know if do they know that it's a thing,
Yeah, I mean, our newest campaign, I don't know if you've seen the commercials that came out starting last month, is with Maurice Ashley. And he was the first African-American Grandmaster of chess in '99.
Yes.
And he's our new Find Your White Rabbit. And Nas narrates his story in our commercials with him. And Nas is our global ambassador. He's going to be making, on the down low, his own blend, I hear, maybe.
So,
for us.
Rayford,
I need that.
Rayford, what Nate
Yeah,
said
trust
was, Rayford, what Nate said was,
Not
you
only
and I
that,
will be with Nas soon on the elaboration and narration. We own this
right.
shit.
And I'm gonna add one more piece to that with my boy Joey here. Nate, and you could be the linchpin in this, man.
Yeah.
No, don't say linchpin.
It's a connector, man. It's just a
I'm making
connector,
sure, bro. Just
man.
making sure you're good.
It's a connector.
I want no
right?
smoke. Rayford. I want no smoke.
So, you know,
Yeah, we had linchpin, we had teabagging.
Yeah, Joey,
we
you
had
heard it.
linchpin, tea bag. You know, we had them all in, man. We had them, you know, whatever, glory hole, whatever it was.
Chinese
But
finger trap. What? Who said that?
yeah.
Episode 27.
Listen, Nate. Listen, man. You know, we'll do this, man. We'll do this with Nas, and we'll do this with you, and we'll make a beautiful product that encompasses all of us. You know, and I know we can do this. I know we can do this because we are Drew Estate, and you're Moet Hennessy, and you understand, you know, as my man Brian says, what the people want, right?
You know what? I'll drink to that.
All right. So a quick toast to everybody out here tonight. Rob Amato, my man Joey, DJ Eli, Ryan Rayford, Will McPhaul, and my man Nate Greene.
Pinkies up, motherfuckers.
That's it, baby.
Pinkies up, man. So
Hey,
this
Frankie,
is last.
Frankie,
That's a hashtag,
Frankie, hold on.
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt, Frankie, but I just got to do a quick shameless plug. Ryan Rayford and myself, every week we release special edition playlists on the official Drew Estate Spotify page. So for everybody that's tuning in the comments right now, if you guys are not in tune with the official Drew Estate Spotify music page, we curate these awesome playlists, these awesome vibes for you guys to listen to, from everything from rock to hip hop to all the in-betweens. To, I mean, the other day I was jamming out and I was smoking a Velvet Rat, listening to some jazz that Rayford put together. So for those of you guys who are on the Spotify platform, tune in. You just got to search up Drew Estate Cigars, the official page on Spotify. And then there's a bunch of playlists, and he does all the smoke, and I do blends for blends. Now you gotta know what that reference is.
I got some.
I gotta be a hater. Let me do
Mute
it.
him.
It's gonna be all instrumentals.
Okay.
All instrumentals.
Okay. But I do.
Will McPhaul freestyle battles.
Yo, if I freestyle, I'll be drunk as fuck.
All right.
There you guys go.
All right.
Will McPhaul's elevator music.
Check it out.
So this
Will McPhaul elevator music. Not gonna
this
happen.
Friday,
But get on that Spotify.
I'm gonna put a new playlist for y'all. And my heart is kind of heavy because Eddie Van Halen passed away. Rest in peace, Eddie Van Halen, man. One of the greatest guitarists of all time. I just did a guitarist playlist, classic rock playlist, and he was featured on it. But I'm gonna try to do something to commemorate some of the musicians and artists we've lost in 2020. But yeah, stay tuned. Me and DJ Eli, we got you.
Rayford, I got you, man. Mean Street, Van Halen 2, and 1984. That's where you got to go. You know, because you know my man Eddie Van Halen.
If y'all follow
you know,
send me ideas. I can piece a playlist together. There's no problem.
Yo, dude,
Let's cheers
I got
to
you. I got you.
Cheers to that.
You know,
You said cheers to that? Hold on. You said cheers to that, right?
Yeah,
I heard you
absolutely.
correctly?
We you know,
Nate got the bottle. Nate got the bottle. Hold on.
Look,
I gotta grab the bottle.
I like Nate, bro.
Let's go, Nate.
He's got the XO.
Let's
So
go, Nate.
listen, man, before you toast, you know, listen, follow
Frankie,
us.
you're doing a moment.
No, dude, you need to support. Before you take a drink, you need to support. So you need to support your local liquor stores, your local brick and mortar cigar shops that are open. You know, listen, these guys are taking care of you. The hospitality crew that's out there doing their best for you. Take care of them and do a toast for them. And when you go out there, tip them freaking well, please. You know, we love all of them and we want to support. Make sure you follow Drew Estate, you know, Cigar, Frankie Drinks.
All right.
And I'm taking my drink.
Do it.
And with that, special thanks to my man Nate Greene for being part of Six and Sips, man.
Thank you, Nate.
You know, dude, I miss you.
Yeah,
I hope to see you soon. Will, DJ, Eli, Ryan. I don't care to see you guys anytime soon. Rob, it's an if and if. and my man Joey. You know, I
Hey,
run into you on occasion,
Frankie.
so it's all good.
No. You trying to get out this bitch?
Get him, Rayford. Get
Hey,
him.
hey, why you
Get
hate?
him.
Why you?
Get him, Rayford. Get him.
Comments going crazy, bro. We might have a spinoff show and you not invited. So
Oh, really,
Ooh.
bro?
Ooh.
Listen,
Hey,
man.
Eli. Woo.
woo.
Oh, the owls come out. So here we go. The owls come out. But check it out, homies. Next week, I've got Ladies of the Liga. So if you thought your ratings were through the roof,
They not.
next
'Cause we
week
got
I got
this.
Ladies of the Liga. Delicia Silva, Cigar Vixen, will be on the show, and
out.
all of
Come
our
out.
female
Come out.
TMs will
Come
be
out.
on the show.
Full time out.
And
Full
then
disclosure.
after that, hang on, man, hang on.
Go ahead.
Don't interrupt me, man.
I won't. Go
After
ahead.
that, Mixmaster Mike with a big boom box from the Beastie Boys will be on. And then after that,
What's going on?
freaking Barn Smoker
Woo.
Live
I
11/14, November
Woo.
14th. Circle your
Woo.
calendar.
Let's
You know,
go.
so go ahead, man. Say what you need to say before I sign off.
In full disclosure, because I am one of the Henny boys, because I am part of Moet Hennessy together. So I see what y'all did there. Y'all picked the most famous Instagram model of all times, but you know her shit. I see what y'all did there. But the Henny episode will go down in fucking history. You know why? No other manufacturer decided to do motherfucking Moet Hennessy. We got this.
None.
No, Frankie, I got a question, Frankie. Now,
Yeah.
how you gonna have a member of the Beastie Boys and not invite me, man? Or EJ?
Or me.
No,
How you not gonna invite us, bro?
DJ
Or
Eli,
invite Moey Hennessy.
DJ Eli, you don't know you're not invited.
Bro,
I know I'm not.
go sleep to Brooklyn. You didn't invite Moey Hennessy or the Henny Crew. You better revise your schedule.
They should drink Natty Ice. Fucking don't
Better
worry about
let us
it.
in the lounge.
Get him, Eli. Get him.
I need a spot in the lounge. I don't need my face on the flyer, but I need to be in the building.
No.
All right,
Yep.
man. Listen, man. You know, Frankie _drinks, American money, bro. I take it on a freaking ETF transfer, man. I'm all good, man. It's got to be American. Make sure it shows up on my account before the show. That's all I got to say. Rob Amato, you got some last words, bro. Where's that fucking Henny hat, bro?
Eli.
I had to switch hats, you know.
Dude, New York ain't winning shit. It's all right. It's all
That's
good.
1-1. We got it.
Hey, Rob, you see this shit? It's gonna happen again. It's gonna happen.
Here we go. The sports talk,
Yeah,
bro.
cheat. That's what happened last
It's all good. It's all good.
Let's not talk about how the Astros.
listen, man.
We gonna win
It's
it
all
again.
good. Drew Estate, Sticks and Sips, virtual happy hour. It's over, y'all. Tune in
It's
next
never
week.
over.
I'll see you.
It's never over, Frank.